everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I went, I'm still at home in upstate New York, and I went to some estate sales the other day. So I wanted to share what I found with you because I personally feel like estate sales in upstate New York just hit different than the ones I go to in Florida. And I found some amazing things and for pretty decent pricing as well. So I was just so happy. So I have a few big things on my desk first that we'll go over, and then I'll get to some of the smaller goodies. So I went to a couple houses that had tons of books. Of course, there's always so many books. And this book is a old French textbook. So it looks like it was used by a student in 73, 74. And I think that the copyright is 71. So, you know, it's not super old, 50 years old. 54 years old now, but of course I love putting pages of foreign languages into junk journals because it just has a different look and feel. Even when they're textbook pages, I still think they look really cool. And of course there's some really cool pictures in this as well, so I thought that was fun. It also came with some ephemera, which I think these are just some old workbook like pages of, yeah, like old, and I love the look of this. Obviously this is like the old mimeograph look of it. So those were just tucked in the front, and I thought, well, I'll just sneak those out as well. So I was able to get that. I also was able to find this old sorry board. And like I said in a previous video, I'm trying to make, starting to make journal covers out of board game videos, or board game boards, excuse me. And so I really like this one. Let me see if I didn't even look if there's a copyright on this. I don't think there is. Oh, well, it's copyrighted 1950, but I don't know if that means that's when this board was made. I feel like, I mean, it does look a little on the older side, but I don't think it's from 1950. I think that's just the copyright of Sorry the Game. And then I found another huge world atlas. I've been looking for a new atlas for a really long time. I went through all the pages of my atlas that I had from a last estate sale I went to a while ago, and been looking for another one, especially an older one. This one is a first edition published by Reader's Digest in 1963. So I love it. I love the older ones because the pages are not glossy, which is amazing. And they just look so nice, and they have beautiful color in them as well. So I was so excited to find that, which is great. So those are some of the bigger things that I found. And then let me see. So I went to one estate where I found this wrapping paper. This is 1985 from Current. If you guys remember the company Current, that made wrapping paper and stationery. So I just loved this one. They had a couple rolls, but I was trying really hard to limit myself. So I got this one because I thought it was so cute with all the different colored hearts on it for Christmas. So I went to this one estate sale. And it said it was court ordered on the description, meaning that they couldn't discount pricing. Like they had to leave it at whatever the pricing was. But most of the stuff was priced really low, especially the things that I was interested in. So this house was older, of course, and the main level had quite a few good things in it. You know, they had some games, they had some beautiful carnival glass, which was absolutely gorgeous. And they had some other things like that. And then I went into the basement, and in the basement, they had a couple older chest of drawers. And so I went over to one because on top it looked like there was some ephemera, and then one of the drawers was like half opened, and I thought for sure I saw ephemera in there, so I kind of like pulled it open the rest of the way, and in all 4 drawers in that chest there was ephemera. So I just kind of started like picking and choosing what I wanted. If I was in a different place right now, kind of financially speaking and whatever, I probably would have tried to pull as much as possible and like offered her an amount for it, but right now I've got to be pretty judicious. So anyway, and then I found a whole bunch more books downstairs as well. So let me go ahead and show you some of the stuff that I got. It's really quite amazing, some of the things that I found, especially some of the books I found, which are super old. This one is not that old. This is The Cat and the Fiddle. I just like this one because I love all of the look of all the illustrations. This one is 1964. It's a Wonder Book, but it's a hardcover Wonder Book, which I don't normally see a lot of those in this size. Normally Wonder Books are a little bit smaller than that, kind of square. Also found this Christmas book this is a little golden book, but it's a shaped cover little golden book, and it's a Christmas book. This one is the 3rd printing, 1978. I grabbed this Richard Scarry book because, as you guys know, if you've been here for any length of time, I was a Scarry kid, not a Seuss kid. And I don't have this one yet in my collection, so I snagged this one. I love Richard Scarry so much. This was given as a gift in 1980, and the copyright is 1978, which is actually the year I was born. They had a copy of here, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, so I snagged this one. This is 1994. I've had this book before. I actually made it into a junk journal and sold it, so I have had this one before, and I just love the images in it. Found this book, The Old Woman and Her Pig. Love that. The Rand McNally book. This one is copyright MCML 11, which I believe is 1952. And so this one is in pretty good shape. I mean, obviously there is some wear here on the cover and the spine, but for the most part, like and there's a little bit, it looks like some crayon back here, but for the most part, I don't see too much damage in any way. The pages are not ripped, except for this front one here where the damage is, and I mean, that's pretty great. So I found this really cute little thing called the Book of Good Cheer. This also had some ephemera tucked in it. I think it was given as a gift, and so there's a letter in here. And then there's like a little poem in here that someone sent as well. So I kept that in there. Looks like this is a rewriting of the Lord's Prayer. So that's kind of nice, a nice sentiment. This says that it was given as a gift in 1938 to Mother from June as a souvenir for my trip to Long Island. August 20th, 1938. The copyright on this is 1916. And it's so cute. I love the font and the text type in here. I love all this and everything. It's so neat. I love the book itself. The book itself is a little, it looks pretty good, but it does definitely feel a little, obviously, worse for wear. There is a little bit maybe of some water damage, or maybe that's just dirt up there. And then the dust jacket itself is very cute. And then that's also got a little bit of wear on it. But if it's really from 1916, then, and even if it's from 1938 when it was gifted, that's pretty astonishing. So let me put this back in there as well. Okay, I also found this older book. So this is called The Neatness of Bobby Coon by Burgess. And again, this is kind of coming from its thing here, but this is a Whitman book. But I believe the copyright on this is 1927. So you guys can see that right there. I love this book. I love these pages. This is so Art Deco to me, which is obviously that time period, but I just love everything about this. And then they had some records, and so I grabbed some of the covers of the records because I'm not going to use the records in any way, but I thought these covers were really fun to use. And so I just snagged some of those. And then I also found this package of stationery with this little kitty on it. So it's the cards and then the envelopes, and I think those are really cute, and those could be fun to include in a journal. Nice little tuck spot. I'm going to be doing a Crafty Hoopla next month, and I'm gonna do inserts and folios for a junk journal. So the whole idea of the train is that you're gonna build a junk journal from start to finish, like from the start of the day to the end. So like the person going in the first hour is gonna do like covers, and then the next person will do like signatures and stuff like that. So I'm going at the end of the day and I'm doing like folios and inserts, and so using cards like this kitty one would be really fun to do for that. Here's another one of the easy readers. This is another Old Man and the Tiger Whitman book. This one is, let's see, 1965 is copyright on that one. Found these some beautiful quilt books that are just, I love the fact that they're like 2-color, and they've got some really just cool looking pages in them. There are a few full color pages, but I thought these were really neat. I think I have another one of these too. This is 1974 Nifty 50 quilts. All right, hold on, let me show those in a second. Let me go back to showing a few more of the books I found. I did find some more books in the older home I told you about with the found some these weren't super old, but I did find some Coca-Cola cards, Santa cards, and I have been collecting playing cards like a mad woman. I honestly don't need any more. I have a collection here now, almost to rival the one I have in Florida. This was really cool I thought, this is from Cypress Gardens, which is used to be a theme park, water park in Florida near Disney. And it's no longer there. It actually was turned into Legoland. But this is from 1965. It tells you their date and their trip and what they did while they were there. So I thought that was fun. And then it's got all these really cool postcards in it, and they're in very good shape. So I thought that was cool. I found a copy of Popular Mechanics. This one is from August 1952. I just love picking up old magazines just because I love the designs in them, and also Popular Mechanics are always fun to look at because they always normally have some cool descriptions in them. All right, we'll look at that in a second because it's kind of falling apart. I found some more books, the Sesame Street books. These books were in such good shape. This 1971 is a copyright on this. It looks like it was given as a gift in 1980. This is the Cookie Monster one. Also 1977 for this one. I love Cookie Monster, although Snuffleupagus is my favorite because he's the coolest Muppet. And then I also found this David and Goliath one, which I thought was really fun. This one's in very good shape. Looks like it was a reprint. It says 1974, but I'm guessing it was later than that because it's in really good shape. But that's probably when it was printed last, in the olden days. I also found this Brownie Girl Scout handbook, and I loved it because of the way it looked inside with all these different pictures and stuff. I was a Brownie. I was a Girl Scout for a pretty long time. So this does have a certain, you know, hold on me. I don't know what I'll do with it. I don't know if I'll take it apart or if I'll sell it. I know some people do really like to collect memorabilia like this, and they also like obviously Boy Scout stuff, but I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do with that. So, all right, we're getting close to the bottom here. Bear with me, you guys. We got more coming. Okay, let's see here. Alrighty. Okay, so in those ephemera drawers, that's where I found the Cypress Gardens cards. I also found kind of some random like greeting cards and some older cards and some prints and stuff. So I'm going to show you some of that stuff because I thought it was really fun. And I also found these random like cat appliques, which I had to snag. I am not a cat person, but I know a lot of people are, and so I thought for sure someone was going to want those. I think the people at this house were cat people because they had a lot of cat stuff just in general around their home. Okay, that goes with that. Okay, oops, there's a little buggy in there. That's okay, he's dead. All right. This was again in the basement, so, you know, it was a little, little touch and go. So I found these like little trade cards, postcards. These people also were from, I think they were from or had family in like Quebec or Montreal because they had a lot of Canadian history books in their home, and they also had a lot of stuff about the Queen, and a lot of things in French as well. So I found these. It looks like it's a rug hooking business, and it's just these little like kind of postcard, like kind of business cards. So I thought those were really fun. I don't know what the date is on these. There's no date, but I would guess like 1960s maybe, based on what they look like. I also found this bag. This is really funny because I live in Orlando, so I know where these malls are. And it used to be a store there, apparently, the Needle Craft World, which I'd never heard of, so it's definitely before my time. And then inside this bag are these beautiful ribbon roses that someone made. And so obviously they probably bought them at this store, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So I snagged the bag because the bag is ephemera. And oh, here's another one too. Ephemera all on its own, but then I also grabbed the roses inside of it. I thought those were so pretty. Here's some more of the ephemera I grabbed out of that drawer. So I did find some really cute vintage Christmas cards and other cards with cats on them. Like I said, I think they were cat people. None of these are dated, unfortunately. So we'll kind of just have to, you know, use our imaginations. Oh wait, this one might be dated. Oh, it says February 10th, so it doesn't say a year. Then I also found some prints here. These are not postcard prints. I think they might have come out of some type of book. They got a little bent in the bag yesterday, but these are very pretty. And I like these a lot. It looks like some of them have a little glue on them, but for most of them it looks like they're not glued. They weren't glued or anything. This one's a little chippy here on the edges, but I love anything like this with the flowers and print. I just love it all. So I wanted to snag those. Like I said, I was kind of just grabbing bits and pieces of ephemera. I found this Walt Disney comic, this Donald comic. These are really fun. This is from March 1965. They used to have Donald ones and Mickey ones and all kinds of different ones. Like I said, they were cat people. So they also had this little golden book called Tiger's Adventure, which I thought was so cute. Little tiger here. And this one is 1954. There's a little bit of writing here on the cover. But otherwise, what I like about this one too is that it's actually real pictures of cats. It's not illustrations, which I love illustrations, don't get me wrong. That's one of the things I love about golden books are the illustrations. But I thought it was cool that this one was actually pictures of real cats and kittens, which I thought was fun. Here's another quilt book I found. This one's called Museum Quilts. And I love this one as well because of these. I like the two color because I feel like it really highlights like what the designs are. And just these colors are so vibrant considering probably when this was printed, which I'm guessing is the 1960s or 1970s. And so that was another one of the quilt things I found. I found a whole handful of paper. I found this paper here with a little bit of ephemera, but then just these this lined kind of graph paper. Some lined paper, and then these pieces like chipboard kind of. I'm not sure if it's actual chipboard or just cardboard, but it's like really cool. So, and nice and thick. So I was like, oh, I'll grab some of that. Can definitely use that underneath for things. Then I found this book. This is one of my favorite things I found. It's called Three Famous Tales for Children. This is definitely old. It was for Jenny. It's definitely wear and tear, a lot of wear and tear on it, but I absolutely love it. It's got the stories of Red Riding Hood, Robinson Crusoe, and Valentine and Orson. I don't know that one. But here's a little Red Riding Hood. And I just love all these images. I mean, look how deep and beautiful that red color is. Like, these are so gorgeous. The plates in this are stunning. I would really like to scan this so that I don't have to worry too much about taking it apart. Oh, there's a little label stuck in there someone cut out. Here's Robinson Crusoe. I'm gonna look and see if there's a copyright in the back, because there wasn't one in the front. I don't know if the copyright page got lost or if it just never existed just because this book is so old. Valentine and Orson. There is a little tear here on this page. But again, these images are just stunning. There's a little bit of dirt and grime in it as well, obviously you can see. But again, this is definitely an older book. So yeah, there isn't a date on it anywhere, unfortunately. But just based on what it looks like, I could do a reverse image search on it. I might try that. But I just thought it was stunning. And I just love everything about it. And it's hard to find books like this in the wild. So then I also found this cute book called Davy and the First Christmas. This one, let's see, it was given to them. Let's see. Looks like it used to have a feather in here, which is kind of cute. And this one is also a pop-up book, which is really fun. So, or at least some pop-ups, it looks like. Maybe some interactive elements here. It looks like it's also a golden book. It was just bound differently. I think it says golden book on the front. Let me see. That's a really pretty image there on the back of the baby Jesus and Mary and Joseph. Oh, that's cute. It's like a puzzle of going to Egypt. That's funny. Let me see here. I don't see a date. I thought I did see somewhere there where it said golden book. Maybe not. I must have been looking at something else. Okay, so there's that. And then one of the last things I found that I haven't shown you guys. Oh, there's a couple of things, but I found another like older book here. This is like an easy reader. It says the Easy Alphabet. I don't know if I got all the pages or not. This one, it says Publishing Co. I also believe this is vintage. I don't believe that this is a repro. But it's a reader to help kids learn how to read. So it has the different alphabets in here, or different letters of the alphabet, and then images. Ooh, this is fun. Ooh, we got some fun ephemera in there. Ooh, that's pretty. That's an old trade card for Corning made bread. That's cool. And then we got D stands for donkey. So we got all these different images in here. And some of them are color, and then some pages are just 2-color. Yeah, so I did manage to get all the pages, but it is falling apart, obviously. But I do not believe this is a reproduction. I believe this is legitimately an older page. So again, like I said, I'd like to scan some of these. This cover is obviously very chippy and it's falling apart. And then in another house, this was actually from 2 houses. So a lot of the older books were from the first house. But then I also found at the second house, I found this book of music. I just like music pages. And then I also found these, which kind of remind me of like OG scrapbooking paper. So you get different paper. So a couple of them I think are complete. Let me see. I think this one is complete. So it's pattern cutting and background paper for Sharon Schnitte, which I don't know what that is, for special projects. And then it tells you German word for scissors cutting. Okay, so this is like the word for fussy cut in German, basically. And you get the different patterns are up here. And then you get these pages in here, and they're like 8.5 by 11. And and looks like, there's a couple pages missing. Obviously, I'm sure that they used some, which they should. So I found this one, which is almost complete. This was made in Alabama. I don't see a date on it though. Okay, so I snagged that one. Then they had this one, which was just parchment paper. So natural, 20 pages of like natural paper. So it's just, almost matches the cover of the, the little folio here. And I've got that one. And then they had this one, which had a few pages left in it. And I actually was able to rescue it from the pile because they were all over the place. But they had this page here, which is like a full double truck. And then they had this page of the polka dot. So I snagged all of those. So I thought those were really cool. And I'd never seen anything like that. And it kind of, like I said, it kind of reminds me of like OG scrapbooking paper, which I thought was kind of neat. And then I did stop at Goodwill yesterday. And I got just a couple things. I did get a pack of scrapbooking paper some of these have been used, obviously. I probably will sell these in my next D-Stash on Whatnot. The link for that show will be in the comments. It looks like there's some Echo Park in here. And some more, I I think it's whatever this one, American Crafts maybe. So I thought I'd definitely share those with folks. I found these little baby Einstein's cards, which I thought were so cute. They're like word cards. And then on the back it has like teaching tips and stuff, but I love the images, of course. Sucker for images. I love the fact that they're all like kitty images. I think that's really fun. And like stuffed animals and toys, which is really cool. So we got all that. Just so you guys know, my dog is in the background eating one of my flip-flops. So luckily they're cheap flip-flops, but still. And then I also found this, and I honestly don't know what's in this box. It says it's a puzzle, but it also says it has scrapbooking materials inside. It's not unopened, so it's quite possible. Oh, I also found, sorry, let me do this real quick. I also found this little golden book, this Reader's Digest condensed book at one of the estates. They had a couple of these, but I just grabbed one because I like the fact that, you know, some of the, I love the Reader's Digest anthology books, you know, that we use with the different covers, but they're so thick and I'm not always in the mood to make a really thick journal. So I like this one because I can definitely make it a smaller journal. I'll do like 2 signatures in this instead of like 4 or 5. So I got it for that reason, and I love this cover, and it's actually very clean. So let me see if they have a date on this one. 1987 maybe. Yeah, I think so. And I think there might be some images in here. Sometimes there's illustrations in these books. Yeah, just not too many. But yeah, there are a few illustrations in here. Yeah, so definitely can use some of these. And these are fun pages to use just as filler if you need, in a junk journal, if you need like that pop of a word or something and you don't really care too much about what it says or whatever. These are great for like just ripping and like, you know, putting it on the edge of something or, you know, stuff like that. It's just really useful for that. And let's look at these coupons we found that were very cool. See directions. There's a reason for Post Toasties. Huh. Post Toasty movie book. Okay, so it's our cereal. That is so cute. There's a little fold up. That is adorable. Oh, I'm so excited that that was in there. I did not see it when I picked it up. I kind of snagged it because I was like, ooh. All right, so this says, okay, Fairytopia puzzle, it says. And then on the front, it says scrapbooking parts inside. So I took a chance. At the very least, I might be able to use the puzzle pieces. But we'll see. They are going to be small. That's what I figured. All right, let's see if we got any of the scrapbooking stuff left. They're really pretty though because of the coloring and stuff. Like these are some very pretty puzzle pieces. Lots of times puzzle pieces you kind of have to like fake them because they're just too bright and shiny and all kinds of things. So, all right, hold on. Okay, pulling that stuff out. This might just be what the image looks like when it's done. Okay, let me see if there's anything else in here. Okay, there's nothing else in there. All right, let's see if anything else got saved in here. Yeah, I bet you there were stamps in here and stuff. Let's see. What does it say? I have put together a small book containing salient pieces of information. Yeah, I think there was like this field guide to fairies might have been in here, or some stickers or something. But I do really like these puzzle pieces. I don't normally use small puzzle pieces because I find them tedious. However, I do like these because of how they're colored. I wouldn't have to do a lot to them to make them different. And like really work to like make them look different because they are already colors I would put into a junk journal. And you know, yeah, so I actually might use some of these. I probably won't need all of them, so I might sell some of them. But there's some really pretty, like it's kind of, you know, what do I want to say, like impressionist kind of almost with some of the flowers and stuff. And some of the browns. It's always hard to find cool brown things to put in things. Like when you're working in a junk journal, like it seems like brown is a predominant color. I love the ones with the writing on them. Like those are cool, of course. So yeah, so I might use some of these and then sell some of them because I won't need them all, but I don't think there's anything else in here that is remotely scrapbooking stuff. So kind of a bust, but kind of not. So I'm all right with that. I'm okay with that. Of course I can use that thing as well. And I can also use the box if I want to too. If I want to take the box apart, it's very cool. So that was just some of my fun. So, oh wait, and let me show you these appliques. I forgot. I told you about them and then I didn't show them to you. So these were the cat appliques I found. I believe that's what they are. I mean, you know, they're older, but aren't these adorable? Look at this. So this one, look, I love the green eyes of the cat. Then there's this one with his tail up and the bow. There's this one with his tail hanging down and looking over his shoulder. And then there's this one where he's playing with like a butterflies. So he's got like a butterfly hanging down here off of his foot, and then he's got like a butterfly up here over on his shoulder there. So I thought those are so cool. And then I also did find this like napkin, which I just love, this patchwork kind of print of a napkin. One of my favorite looks. So I just grabbed it. There's only one. And then I found these, which I want to do some assemblages this year for Christmas, and I want to use old cookie cutters. So basically what I want to do is I want to put it back on this and then use it as an assemblage in here and like create a scene, basically. They didn't have a boy one the same size, but I did grab this boy one out of there as well. Of course, I have a million cookie cutters that I could also repurpose myself. So, but I am really interested in doing assemblages this year, so I'm hoping I'm gonna get around to it. That is my goal. So anyway, so that's some of the stuff I found while I was doing some estate sailing. I think I got everything that I showed you for like 25 bucks between both sales. And I was just super happy about that. So it was a really, really couple fun estate sales. And yeah, it was really cool. This is very cool. This is one of the trade card that I pulled out of that book. I can't tell if it's supposed to be like this or if this got wet or something and it bled, but this is really cool. It says some well-known butterflies and moths. Butterflies belong to the family of scaly wings, their wings being covered with tiny scales of feathers. Butterflies fly by day. They're amongst the most beautiful of creatures owing to their fine coloring. Oh, so it's watercolor. Okay, so it says to paint the picture, use brush and clean water. Keep carefully within the black outline. Use enough water to color each part. So someone watercolored it. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Buy Corning Main bread every day and get a different one of these invisible color pictures. So there was like a whole series of these. That's very neat. I like that a lot. Very cool. All right, awesome. So thanks guys for coming to the channel. I hope that you will subscribe and share this video with folks you think might enjoy it. I'm gonna keep trying to do estate sales here in upstate as I'm back. I'm also planning to go to Belkville Antique Festival for a couple of days next month. I'm very excited. I really want to go check it out, and this seems like the perfect opportunity to do so just based on my scheduling and everything. So I might take you there with me. I might try to film some of that, but I'm not 100% sure yet. That's not something I normally do, so I'm a little nervous about it. And then I'm hoping to come back on with a video about the junk journal we were working on and maybe some other fun things either at the end of this week or beginning of next. I need to film a video for that, but I am really looking forward to getting back into that junk journal. I want to finish it and get it to its recipient, and I have a couple other projects that I've been looking forward to doing as well. So I hope everyone has a great day. Please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel. I'm really trying to grow the channel. I have a stretch goal of 500 followers by December. Don't know if I'm going to make it, but I appreciate it. And also don't forget to check the links in the description box. There's a link in there for Whatnot. If you use my link when you sign up and you're a new subscriber, you'll get a $15 credit to shop. So, and you don't have to use it with me. You can use it with anybody you want on Whatnot. So definitely check that out. Whatnot is an awesome platform, and there's an awesome community there of crafters. So I hope to see you there soon. And thank you all for coming and listening to me ramble about fun estate sale finds. Thanks.